Hey, vinyl community, Jeff here again. As mentioned in my last video earlier today, I was going to do a video of, real records as opposed to the contest entries and the thrift store finds that I've been doing recently. Because, of course, while all of that stuff has been going on, regular new releases and things have been coming in. So let's talk about some of those. I've broken this up because I want to keep this too terribly long, but I saw Josh over at Flipside showed this last week, and I said, hey, mine's coming today, and it did, which was last week, but I wanted to save it because I had another one coming in. The new Savatage. Now, Hall of the Mountain King is one of the ones that when you find an OG copy, people sell it online $80 to $100. It's just expensive. So I've never had an OG copy of this. Now, they're starting to reissue all of the Sabotage. They've got the first 4 have been reissued on vinyl again, and they get bonuses and stuff like that, remastered and all that. This one has a bonus 7-inch that has 2 songs on it, one of which is live. So that's a nice little bonus. Has, the typical insert with the picture of the band and lyrics. Comes with another insert that has story stuff on it. Hall of the Mountain King's a great album. Let's see what it says about here. The 1987 album, limited collectors, heavyweight gold, 1 LP, exclusive 7/8 single, masters for vinyl. It is on gatefold. So it's brothers John and Chris Oliva, and of course, a couple years later, Chris passed away. I believe, was it a car accident? I believe, and so he sadly passed away. And then his brother went on, but his brother stepped on into like keyboards and backing vocals, and they ended up getting a new vocalist. But these first few albums, John was the singer. He's also done a lot of other bands under not only his name. But he's done some other projects too, Dr. Butcher, things like that, but we won't go into all that. And then the other one I got was Power of the Night. Now this one I almost wasn't going to get because I had an OG copy, and I'm thinking I don't need to go rebuying the albums, but they throw in bonus track and it's remastered and it's 180 gram, and I'm not so much worried about the color, but this is the clear edition, and it's got the bonus. And then this one is the special 3D pop-up clear edition of this album. This is it was right around or right before this time when I discovered them back in the day. I was in the military, and some friend of mine, 2 guys that I used to go to the mall with every payday, and we'd buy a lot of records. They introduced me to them, and I believe at that point we had the first 2 albums, which I'm going to show in a second. But, it's got an inside fold out. Again, same 2 brothers on this release too. Yeah, and that was one of their first, what I would call their first kind of a commercial release. First 2 albums were a little bit more edgy, raw, and then that album was a little more, it was a major label type release. Felt like I said, I have an OG copy of that one. So now what I'm going to do, and I'll announce this later because I probably will make a follow-up video, but for my contest, I have the 1,000 subscriber contest if you go back and watch and want to thing. And there's a bunch of different albums, doubles and things that I've got in there as potential prizes. I'm going to put this one in the mix as a potential prize because now I won't be needing that. I'm also going to be putting in there Fight for the Rock. I will be throwing this in there because this is the only other one that's been reissued on vinyl so far that I am going to go ahead and get because, again, it comes with the bonus too. This is a gold stamp promo. Seems like there's a lot of those going on. But so these 2 are going to be added into the fold for potential gifts for that contest. Now, just briefly, these are the 2 that have been released so far. This was the first album. It originally came out with this blue cover, and this was the edition that my friends had when they first introduced me to this. And I've shown this in a previous video when it came out, because these have been coming out like 2 at a time, and these came out months ago, and then these last 2 came out recently. And there are different colors, and of some of these have come out in different colors. But anyway, this is the blue. It matches that. So, and then the other one was their EP, The Dungeons Are Calling. And I remember this probably was one of the first ones I bought. And this one again came with a 7-inch Avatar. That was the band's name before they changed their name. So some of these songs are on here, but these are the Avatar versions that came with this. And again, same treatment. They've got the inserts, their gatefolds, etc., etc. I won't show these because I have shown these in previous videos, but and this is on red. Kind of makes sense, color coded. So Savatage, if you're not familiar with them, I guess you call them, I just call them heavy metal, American power metal. They're not 80s metal in the sense that they're, you know, that hair, glam, sleaze, or any of that stuff. Just, you know, straightforward metal, Judas Priest type, you know, whatever you want to call, just straightforward metal. Great stuff. One of my favorite bands. I've loved them for years. They did change singers. Zach Stevens, amazing singer. Changed their style a little bit, but love their stuff. There's a couple more albums to be reissued of the John Oliver singing era. Now, John and the guys in Sabotage, if you're not familiar, were kind of like the catalyst for the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. They went on, they did the Christmas Eve Sarajevo song on one of their albums, and then that kind of turned into Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And the guys from this band are still part of that. The drummer, Jeff Plate, he's still the drummer for Trans-Siberian Orchestra, or he's on and off. You know, they have the East Coast and the West Coast, but a lot of these guys are still part of that core of the band at different shows for the Trans-Siberian Orchestra Christmas experience. So, but anyway, love their stuff. Hoping they're going to continue to put out the stuff on the vinyl all the way through the Zach Stevens years. Their last album they did was like 2001. John came back on vocals, and again, hopefully they'll continue to put those out all the way through there. I did get to see them live one time when I lived in New York. I lived on Long Island. They played in a small club in New York, and that was one of the only shows that I ever went out of my way to go to by myself. Nobody I knew would go. Drove all the way into the city, which was probably an hour away because I lived way out on Long Island. Went into the city, into the little city, tried to fight, you know, got parking and everything. Went into this little club, little club, like the kind of clubs that my bars play in. I was just standing in front of the stage. It was really, for a band of their caliber, in my opinion, they should have been like on a huge stage. But little club, so it was great, personal. And Al Pitrelli and Zach Stevens, all those guys. So it was a really good show. That was somewhere in the somewhere between 95 and 97, because we only lived there from 94 to 98. So it had to be somewhere in that Dead Winter Dead or Wake of Magellan album time frame is when I believe it had to have been. I can't remember exactly the tour. Great stuff. If you don't know Savatage and you're into American metal, check them out. They're great, and their albums are being reissued now. That's all I got for now, though. Thanks for watching. Rock on and rock hard.